Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got an exciting blend for you guys today. I'm kicking off October with some spooky teas, and what better way to start off than one that I found at the Oddities and Curiosities Festival in Chicago. So we're starting off with a brand new blend that I've never tried before. This one is called Winter Solstice by Black Forge Coffee. And I have heard of the company before, but I've never... Hey, Snea, welcome! I have heard of the company before, but I've never had any of their drinks. So this is going to be a bit of a treat. Now, this, right now, off the bat, this smells amazing. It's called... it's Winter Solstice. It's got rooibos tea, rooibos herb, tulsi, rose hips, elderberry, blackcurrant, and lemon. And let me tell you, this smells incredible. It's really, really fragrant. Right now, all I smell is like floral and fruit, and it's like not they're both pretty much equal. Like it's giving me a good blend of both. Neither one is overpowering the other, and it's very interesting because it smells fresh and it smells clean. And it's not overpowering. It's not. Hey, Teresa, welcome. It's not overpowering. It's really nice and mellow, and I gotta tell you, this is gonna be a treat. So let's take a look at the color. It's a gorgeous bronze color to it. It's got it's a little bit dense. It's not super duper clear, which is fairly typical for a rooibos, unless it's a really, really bright, even a green rooibos happens to be a little bit lighter, but this is a fully cooked, fully processed rooibos, so it's going to have that red tint to it. Rooibos, that's why rooibos is known as a red tea. So this is an herbal blend. That means that there's no caffeine in it. Which is great. Miriam, welcome. I see you popped in just in time. It's been a while. I'm glad you could make it. So this tea is just very, very fragrant, very fresh. And I'm thoroughly enjoying the scent, but I'm excited to see how it tastes. So without further ado, let's see what we got here. Oh, that is really nice. It's got a very full body. Everything is better when seafoam green is in fashion. Well, is it? I have no idea. I just like the shirt. But I'm glad I got it. Oh. Now, what I find interesting about this is that the floral scent is very profound in it, but I'm tasting more of the fruit blend, and it's a little bit strange because, like, normally when you smell something, smell is 80% of your taste, so they say, and you would imagine that smelling so much of the floral, you get a stronger bit of it, but I'm actually getting more of the fruit. It tastes very... you missed what we're sipping on? We're sipping on a tea that I got from the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. It's called Winter Solstice. I'll gotta show it to you full. There you go. It's called Winter Solstice. Rachel, welcome. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in forever. So it's got rooibos, tulsi, rose hips, elderberry, blackcurrant, and lemon. So I think that what I'm getting most of. Thank you for the color, for the compliment on the color. Ooh, that's delicious. I think what I'm tasting most of all is the elderberry. Now I've had the elderberry flower before, but I don't recall if I've ever had elderberry itself in my tea. but it's really, really vibrant. It's really sweet and on the juicy side. This is not a watery tea. This is very robust. It's very smooth. Also, I'm a big fan of rooibos, as you guys know, which is naturally on the sweet side. Doesn't elderberry give you a high? Well, I mean, yes. They do make wine out of elderberry. Hey, Mickerdoodles, welcome. Glad you could make it. They do make wine out of elderberries, and for those of you Monty Python fans out there, you'll get the reference when they say your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. That is actually an insult. There is a meaning behind it where your mother was a hamster. They're basically saying she had a lot of babies because she's a whore, and your father smelt of elderberries is a reference to the wine that he was drinking all the time, calling him a drunkard. So that that line, it's funny in its silly way, but then when you know the story behind it, that's an actual thing. So yeah, they do have. Was it? I had elderberry jam that you got from a farm. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Hey, Lenny, welcome. Glad you could make it. Yeah, it's rude, but like it's such an interesting way to insult somebody, because like you don't think that it means anything. You dismiss it as being just a silly thing to say, but when you find out the meaning behind it, it's like, ouch, that hurts. That's why I love that movie, because it's like it's the kind of thing that you have to research a little bit, you know. Your mama's a hamster, exactly. Hey Anna, welcome. I see you on Twitch. Thanks for joining. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys what the tea looks like. And this is very interesting because there's a huge visual difference. Alright, so showing it as is, you see a lot of the brown rooibos in it. That's the red tea. Very, very light, fine tea. Very powdery. Like, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I'm dropping it. It's always been very, very light. And you have the rose hips, as you can see. I'm looking for an elderberry. Oh, here we go. I've got an elderberry here. Looks very similar to the rose hip, except, in texture it feels like a dried berry. And like it's got that kind of heft to it. There is a little bit. Oh yeah, thanks. It's gorgeous in my opinion. But yeah, it's like it's got that heft of a dried fruit. But when it's wet, there's a huge difference. Maybe I'm just making too much of it, but you can see in the middle there's actual herb there. Let me see if I can pull some of it out. It looks like the rose hips went completely pale. Like there is no color in it whatsoever. It all drained out into the tea. And I've never actually seen that before. But it's indicative of the flavor. That's how it maintains that really strong. What's this? You've heard of rose hips as a healing element to them? Oh yeah. All teas have some sort of healing element to them. It's said that, for instance, rooibos has anti-inflammatory properties that help you with joint pain. It helps you with allergies because it stops your body from reacting. Rose hips, I believe, is good for your blood pressure. Don't quote me because I don't. I'm doing this from memory. But rose hips is good for blood pressure, circulation. It's got like a de-stressing kind of property, where you inhale the fragrance and it just calms you. It's a relaxant, I guess that's a word. I'm making it a word now. What else? I think it has digestive, like it helps your digestion. I don't recall for sure. But yeah, all teas have some sort of health benefit. It's a rare issue when it's not. Especially when you're talking actual tea, Camellia sinensis, that has like so many health benefits, it's crazy. Or at least a lot of health benefits are attributed to them. I try not to. It's exactly, that's what I was about to say. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give medical advice. So if you want to look into it further, you can like do your research on online. Ask a doctor. I always recommend asking a doctor first. Just making sure that you cover all your bases before you take it as medical advice, because this is not. I'm a doctor of tea. Not yet. I am but a student still. I am certified though. And people have always said I'm certifiable. They were right. And what I like about this also is that the rooibos blends really, really well. Now, for those of you who have had rooibos before, there's a certain kind of texture that you come to expect from it. It's very like, I hate to say sandpapery, but it's very, very finely ground sandpaper in the texture wise. But because of the elderberry juice that comes out and the floral, it tends to smoothen it out a little bit, I find. The texture is not as heavy as I'm used to, but I think that this will be good for people who have texture issues. I know a few people who don't like rooibos specifically because it tastes grainy, but this one, it cuts down on the graininess. You do not enjoy rooibos. Well, there was a rooibos that you liked at Tilula. I forget which one it was. It was one of the fruity ones. But yeah, like when you blend it a certain way with fruit, the thickness of the juice kind of disguises the graininess. So yeah, I'm all for it. And I really love like the flavor just kind of sits there on your tongue for a little bit. Was this no, it was grainy. You still have it because of that? Oh, okay. So it was you liked it at the store, but didn't quite like it when you got home. Like I don't know. Well, this one has like a really nice overall texture to it. Like there's very little grain to it. I'm actually struggling to find it, but it kind of coats the tongue. I'm assuming it's because of the juices that are heavier than the rooibos, so that kind of balances it out a little bit. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this one. There's something very, very perfumey about this. It's got like a candy citrus kind of scent to it. And this is very calming, very soothing. It's like when you have more time to work with it, it began to stand out more. Ah, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Like when you drink a rooibos, the more you let it stand, the particulates tend to like gather. So you have to drink it fresh, or you have to drink it hot. Otherwise, you'll get that graininess. I'm not tasting it yet, but I have been brewing this. What was it, about 8:15? So this is about half an hour old, give or take. Oh, excuse me. But like even still, I'm not getting much of the graininess at all. Right now, it tastes like I'm getting more of the floral essence to it. As it cools down, I'm still getting a good amount of the fruit, but the floral portion is starting to get a little bit stronger. I'm getting a lot of the rose, not so much of the tulsi. I think that I'm getting a good combination of the lemon and the elderberry. So he said there is a time limit to consume tea, or does it differ with different kinds? It makes sense to drink everything fresh. And Miriam says that's because you're drunk on elderberry. I'm not drunk yet because it's not fermented, but it is possible to get tea drunk. And as far as the time limit to drinking tea, there is no real time limit. Tea doesn't go bad, and even after it's brewed, it's not a limit per se, it's just a difference in taste. So for instance, this blend, it starts off fruity, and as it cools out, I'm finding, this is a the active word because it's happening right in front of you guys, I'm finding that it's switching from fruit to floral. I don't know how it will be if it gets cold. It could surprise me. But right now it went from hot at 212 degrees to, I would say, maybe about 105, maybe? I'm able to drink it without, like, burning my tongue. So I would say maybe between 105 to 150. I'm trying to, like, give it a wide berth because I don't have my my thermometer with me. But there is no real time limit. It's more a matter of preference. In a blend like this, I would also recommend that if you prefer a sweeter blend or a sweeter flavor, definitely ice it, because iced tea always tastes sweeter than the hot version. Now that's not to say that if you make a black tea per se and then don't sweeten it at all, it'll be sugary when you ice it. That's not the case at all. It'll just happen to be sweeter because the tongue reacts to colder temperatures in a different way that it reacts to hot temperatures. So it senses the sweetness over the savory. However, if you drank, say, a Lapsang Souchong, which is very heavily smoky, very like it vapors when you drink it. Sometimes it's not a sweet blend at all, but if you drink it, it's just less intense, if that makes sense. So Gotcha's also icky to drink anything old as time passes. You're welcome, no problem. Listen, did you miss something about being tea drunk? That's what Anna Greystone asks. Yes, there is this kind of euphoric phenomenon about being tea drunk. When you drink a lot of tea, depending on the blends, there is a certain amount of euphoria that follows. Being tea drunk is not being physically drunk. You're not going to set off any breathalyzers, but the way that it works is it's a combination of the caffeine and the L-theanine. So as you're burning the caffeine in your body as you drink a lot of tea, you get the caffeine high, but the slow digestion of it. So you wind up getting a kind of euphoric feeling to it. So I have been tea drunk many times, and It's one of my favorite feelings because you just feel happy. But of course, you have to drink quite a bit of tea for it to. Well, depending on your tolerance, because like with everything, there's always a matter of how you digest it, and how your body processes it. So you're drunk on tea. You wonder if it's on coffee too, but coffee burns faster and you crash. Yeah, like I've never heard of coffee drunk. It might be just because of that. Like it burns too fast, so you get jittery, and you work the energy out that way. But tea doesn't really make you jittery. It makes you more alert, aware, and you, as it burns, the slowing down, you feel it more. So that's where tea drunk comes from. So would this happen? Would say if Lipton was iced. Well, first I wouldn't really call Lipton tea to begin with. I know that sounds so bad, but like you guys, you know where I stand on Lipton. I don't make that. I don't make that a. I don't make that a secret, but the thing is that yes and no. I'll explain. You for Lipton tea, you get the berry essentials of the tea because it's like just powdered leaf. So you can get it, but the problem is, like you'll have to drink because it's powdered. You'll have to drink a lot. You're not getting a full serving from it, basically. Is this so you're an addict? Do you need to go to rehab? Yes, and yes, I'm an addict. And if you want me to go to rehab, I say no, no, no. You're welcome for the reference. Oh yeah, and I get that you're from the South, but like it's a matter of quality over quantity. So if you're drinking Lipton, you're not getting the same kind of whole full flavor that you should be getting from a loose leaf blend. So it's like eating McDonald's and trying to get a healthy meal out of it. It's counterproductive, you know? So before I forget, I gotta do the Thomas taste. I haven't done this in a while, so I gotta catch up. So let me see, you wonder what was wrong with the people where you're from. Well, now you know. They're all drinking Lipton. That's the problem. No, okay. See, I'm getting euphoric already. So, I gotta do the Thomas taste, see where we go from there. Okay, I'm getting a lot more of the floral. The floral is now starting to become more prevalent over the fruit. And there's a little bit more texture, not full-fledged rooibos that I'm used to, but I'm getting more of that settled texture, and it's still not like a thick grain. It's just kind of silky, and it's coating the tongue pretty well. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Okay, I'm going to open up the floor. Questions, questions or comments, anything you want to talk about, now's the time. Yeah, this is... I'm glad that you guys are... Hey, Ramanda, welcome. I'm glad that you guys are like keeping me on my toes. I need this more often. I'm going to answer Teresa's question as I always do. What would I pair this tea with? Being what it is, floral and fruity. It's easier to pair it with a. Can you make rooibos less grainy? That is something that's terribly difficult to do because that graininess washes off the leaf itself. I mean, I'm sure there are ways to disguise it, but I don't know if there's a way to make it physically less grainy. Pairs well with hamsters. Well, if you drink a hamster or eat a hamster, yeah. Okay, that's going into really dark territory right there. I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit. Talk about a light snack. But anyway, okay, what would I pair this with? It's definitely a dessert tea. It's like winter solstice. Would this be good with Christmas food or autumn foods, or is it something bland to counteract the sweet? I mean, in my opinion, it could go either way. You know, Christmas foods tend to be heavy, but autumn foods tend to be more spicy, cinnamon kind of a thing. You can play with it around and see what you like. Like for this one, I would go with Christmas foods like baked ham or roasted. Why did I say? I was thinking roasted pheasant for some reason. No, roasted chicken. Although I wouldn't mind trying pheasant for it. Elderberry and hamster. That would definitely be a pair. A pair of what? I can't say. But it would definitely be a pair. I mean, it would be easier to pair this with something sweet. As far as pairing it with something bland, I don't know why you'd want to eat a bland food. Like, to me, food must be life-giving in order to enjoy it. If I'm just gonna eat like a bowl of plain oatmeal, no, I'm good. People eat guinea pigs in other countries, which makes you sad. Well, yeah. You're missing the joke you told us? Oh no, I'm not. I'm not missing the joke. I'm just not commenting on it. Ramanda says you had a hard time figuring out how to comment from your phone. How acidic would I rate this one? It's very, very low. You know, this is like the most prevalent flavor is the elderberry, but it's not an overpowering. Like, it does have lemon in it as well, but I'm not getting much of the lemon. I would say out of 10, I'd give it like a 2 or 3. It's not really acidic at all. I think that part of it is the, hey, infamous FFM, welcome. Thanks for joining. When it comes to acidity, I think that the texture of the rooibos is really bringing it down, so it's not noticeable. But I'm giving it a good, solid 2. Maybe a 3 if it like pushes out a little bit more. Maybe if I put 3 scoops instead of just 1. But I'm really not getting that much of an acidic taste to it. Ooh, that's good. It's kind of like as acidic as a fruit punch that's been watered down. Kind of like you're not you get the flavor of the fruit, but not really the citric reaction to it. I think that's the best way I can put it. Okay, we're running low on time, so I'm going to go ahead and make announcements. I do have one announcement, and that announcement is going to be a surprise. I have something in the works coming up. I'm going to hint at it on the community, so stay tuned to the Facebook page. I'm really fighting myself to say more on that because like this is something I'm really excited about. And that very thing is literally just like a couple feet away from me right over there. So I'm not gonna look at it because I might let something slip. But stay tuned. Give you a hint. I mean, like, that was the, you gotta go to work, take care. All right, have a good one. Lenny, oh, that was you, Lenny. I didn't know that, that you were on 2 devices. But thanks for joining me on Twitch. I'm gonna promote Twitch a little bit more lately, because, you know, Twitch can, like, get some good following in there, so I'm going to do some Twitch-only programming. That was another... Thanks for the segue, by the way. That's going to be another announcement, is that I'm going to be doing some more stuff on Twitch only to promote the channel. So if you have not yet subscribed or followed me on Twitch, I highly recommend that you do. The link is in the description of the community. I'll also link it on the description of the video on Facebook. As far as the hint, I can't give you a hint, but I will tell you if you're getting warmer. Okay, yeah, there you go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks, everybody, for joining me once again. This has been Winter Solstice, and I'll have the link in the description. No, that was the hint. I mean, I'm not gonna say yes or no to that, Miriam. It's not a chai specific situation. Don't give any hints. No hints. That's all I'm saying, is that I will let you know if you're getting warmer. Anyway. Thank you all for joining me once again. This has been an incredible blend. I will be linking this blend in the description. Until next time, have a wonderful night, a great weekend, and I'll catch you later. Bye.